Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy, and the blessings of the Almighty God be upon you all. I would want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for this very special event, the fundraising event of the Bread Roti Factory in Ghana. As our Muslims, we start our proceedings with a recitation from the Holy Quran, and I call our brother Abiola Osota to do the Arabic and then the English recitation of the Holy Quran. Abiola side.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت 7 سنابل في كل سنبلة 100 في كل سنبلة 100 حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء والله واسع عليم الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله ثم لا يتبعون ما أنفقوا منا ولا أذى لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. The surah I just recited now is from Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2 of the Holy Quran, from verse 262 to 263. I seek refuge in Allah from the outcast shaitan. In the name of Allah, the gracious and merciful. The similitude of those who spend their wealth for the cause of Allah is like the similitude of a grain of corn, which grows 7 years, in each year 100 grains, and Allah multiplies it further for whosoever He pleases, and Allah is bountiful, all-knowing. They who spend their wealth for the cause of Allah, then follow not up what they have spent with taunts or injury. For them is their reward with their Lord, and they shall have no fear with.
Jazakumullah husna jaza. Abdullah sir. Once again, I want to thank each and every one of you. I think we are just about 60 participants at this present moment, and it's the fundraising event of the PAAMA United Kingdom. Just to let everyone understand, I'm just giving a very humble welcome address in place of the big man himself, our respected Tommy Kalon Saab, the president of PAAMA United Kingdom and the coordinator for PAAMA International. This is an event that we've all been waiting for. The bread roti factory project in Ghana goes way back when some of the members had expressed a bit of an interest of sending something down to Ghana. But we noticed that last year's PAAMA forum at the Jalsa Salana, the members from around the world who had met had also expressed that same keen interest that they think PAAMA should be giving more to Africa. Our respected President Sir Tommy Kalum Sab then took it up, took it to our beloved Huzur, that there are some few projects that members have suggested at the PAAMA International Forum at the Jalsa Salana, the family forum. And beloved Huzur then advised President Saab to send it back to the AMLA for discussion and for them to select a particular project for Africa. So few projects were actually discussed at the National AMLA, and Alhamdulillah, the bread roti factory in Ghana was actually selected as the overwhelming one that members felt should start as a project that will be given PAAMA UK, and in fact PAAMA International would be given back to Africa. That was when this whole humble beginning actually started. And then we are so fortunate that our President Sab, Tommy Kalon Sab, took the whole project back to beloved Huzur, and beloved Huzur, out of his own love for Africa, approved the project and blessed it. And that was when the whole project was actually launched. Then we noticed that during the last Ramadan, our President Sab then officially made it known to everyone that this is the project that our beloved Huzur has actually blessed and then approved for PAAMA International to literally give to Mother Africa. And we start with Ghana with this roti factory, in which is something that those of us in the United Kingdom actually know very much about. And that is, we go to the Jalsa Salana. That was a blessing that we have gotten from our beloved Huzur, blessing this project for us. And our job now is to literally contribute, fundraise for this particular event. Tommy Kalon San kindly then make me as a project lead to help raise these funds so that we can take it, give it to Ghana as something that we in the United Kingdom. The project estimated cost at the time that the engineer valued it was at 30,000, and that is what we are aiming to raise today. Today we are hoping that by the time we finish today's event, that 30,000 will be knocked off, if not even more, inshallah. And I'm very hopeful that, and I always put it in a very simple way. Our President Saab gave us a duration of either 6 months or 1 year.
And although this project, you notice it says Roti Factory in Ghana, this is a project which the long-term plan is to fund the bread roti factories across the various African countries, and Ghana is the starting point. So you can see that the estimate that we've put there is £30,000. However, there was the initial cost, which when the project was first designed. But inshallah, we hope and pray, because if the whole objective of the project is to go across all the African countries, then you can know that in terms of the fundraising, inshallah Aziz, there will be no limit, or inshallah will go beyond 30,000. But although the starting point is here in Ghana.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim Saab, for covering up. I guess so. The whole thing for today is, alhamdulillah, we've all met, and the whole thing is we are just literally listening to the call of the Khalifatul Masih to give back to our mother Africa, and we are starting with this. But we've done several projects already in Africa, but this particular Roti project goes down to Africa. The initial need, literally, to feed the members of the Jalsa. And then I believe you all watched the centenary Jalsa of Ghana. You see those multitude of people there. We have loads and loads of people, poor people down there in Africa who come to the Jalsa with not much to eat. So the Roti plant, which actually started with the Promised Messiah, alayhi salam, as a blessing, will be a blessing there for them as well, where they'll be able to feed members of the Jalsa. But even beyond that, the Amir Saab says he wants to look at it as more of a commercial venture where they will even try to employ some members and sell it to the public at a very, very cheap price so that they can make something as part of raising funds for some of the projects that the Jamaats do as well. So in brief, that is the Roti plant. And then today is just to give you a bit of an understanding of the whole project, give you what goes into it. And then also you would then dig deep your hand into your pocket and then also donate. Like I was trying to explain, we have phases of the payment. We start today. In fact, it's already been started. But then since we are doing this fundraising event today, we will say, fine, if you're going to start today, at least by the end of this year, you should try as much as possible. That will be exactly 6 months. If you can pay everything, that will be amazing. Whatever promises you've made, that will be amazing, so that we can give the money to the engineer who will be coming right after me to literally give the whole project outline and then the deeper understanding of the project and what actually comes with the project. If you're not able to fulfill that promise in the 6 months, then you still have the full year to actually complete the whole project. We've actually made it in a way that people would, get a lot of blessing from, because this is Sadaqah Jariyah, where even when we pass on, the blessings will still be there for us. And that is, we have said, if you are able to donate up to 500 pounds, and then your name will be presented to Beloved Huzur for special prayers. And if you pay more than 1,000, then your name will be engraved on the factory as those first members who actually contribute such a huge amount of money towards the very first Roti plant, which actually went to the soils of Africa. I would now sort of give a stop here, but then I've been told to just give you a quick rundown of the whole program. So I'll take you through the program briefly, and then we'll now move on to the next person who would come. That is the engineer. They'll come and give us a better understanding of the whole. But for the whole day's program, we started with the tilawat. We've gone down to the brief explanation of the whole project. We go to the Fatih Ahmed, who is the Fatih Rashid, sorry, who is the engineer who actually did the UK Roti plant for us, and is this very same young engineer who is actually going to give us that, helping us to build the one in Ghana. After that, we go to the architect who is actually designing the whole layout in Ghana to house the plant, to house this factory. Then we have a financial sacrifice by our brother Nuruddin Jahangir Sab, followed by a talk by Naib Amir Ghana, Naib Amir Wan Ghana, this Abdul Wahab Issa. Then Ibrahim Bonsu Sab, who just covered when I was off, to talk us through the steps to make the promise and then how to make payments, followed by Dr. Zahid Khan Saib, the chairman of the Kazaa board, who is himself an African, born in Africa, from East Africa. And then we go to the promises and payment slots stroke Q&A session, if people want to ask further questions. Then we go to the very final closing remarks, which will be done by Mohammed Nasser Kansai, Naib Amir UK, and Afsa Ajasa Salana, who is himself also a born African. So in brief, this is the outline for the day. And again, once again, we are just hoping and praying that people would understand the blessings of this very project that's been given to us, and then give a lot generously towards the whole project. With this, I want to thank you again for taking time to join us. And if you have brothers and sisters who have not been able to join us, then please feel free to send a link to them and tell them to join us. We'll be here for about another hour and a half, and that will be us for the whole day. But what we also aim to do is by the close of the day, we'll try to get the promises figures to see how much money that has come in, so that we can rate the regions as per which region comes first with promises and the other region that follows, so that people know how competitive we are with this particular project, inshallah. I now call on Fatih Rashid Sahib, who is a plant engineer builder, to give us his side of the whole story as to the whole project outline, inshallah. Fatih Sahib, over to you, please. Is Patisab here with us?
Assalamu alaikum.
What's
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Let me just quickly share my screen with everyone here.
Yes, screen is on. We can see now.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Quickly, brief introduction. I was introduced to this project some time back by Mr. Ahmed Sahib and Nasir Khan Sahib. They called me, first of all, asking me, because I've been working in Roti branch Salana, UK for last 13, 14 years when I was very small age. And from there over time, we built a lot of experience and a strong team that are capable of doing this project. And when I received a phone call from our Jamaat members that we wanted to do this, and I quickly jumped on the opportunity, and we started thinking about from there, and then how can we make this project viable for Jamaat, and how can we proceed with it quickest as possible. So what I'm going to present to you today is a quick brief overview, what the plant includes and what equipment we would need, and we take it from there. So a brief introduction about me. My name is Fateh Rashid. Alhamdulillah, I'm Waqfino. Hence, I am working on this project, sacrificing time and my skill set and to benefit Jamaat in future. As a profession, I am a commercial pilot and I also do automation engineer. And as I mentioned before, I've been working as a Nazim Roti plant engineer in Salana, UK for quite some time. And I was introduced to Roti plant Salana duty through my father, which he has been working for some time back, about 20 years now. So, I mean, what my role is in Salana UK is that we maintain the machinery, we develop new technologies that's not existed before. I mean, we have managed to, from last 2 years, we managed to introduce new machinery, new technology every year, and alhamdulillah, they've been all successful. So hence why we are capable of pushing this project through and meeting our targets. So here we can see our plant components and working. So this is going to be the basic outline, what components we require and the vast scale of machinery that we need for this project to be successful in Ghana. So I'm sure you can all see my screen. So here we have a number 1. So the main plant will be built in 6 stages. So the main plant has 6 stages. Number 1 is where we put the door in and we get door balls. This is the number 1 stage. Number 2 stage is proofing. That's where we rest the door balls for 2 minutes for the internal temperature of the door balls to cool down. And then number 3 is on your screen. You can see that's where we do what Peter.
I'm sorry, we can't see your screen.
Can you guys see my screen?
It's okay.
No,
what you need to do is
we can
go
see
down
your
a bit. You can see it yourself. It's there. It's showing on the screen.
Okay,
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
So number 3 is where we do roti flattening. We put it into the final shape of the bread that we need. And number 4 is again a proofing that takes about 5 minutes time. And number 5 is the oven. And number 6 is the cooling conveyors. So I'm gonna walk you through these stages and how we're saving funds on this project, because these projects in outside world, they can cost upwards to $500,000. But because we have internal in Jamaat, we have management skills, we have engineering skills and architecture skills, we can bring this budget way down. So let's continue. So here we go. Stage 1 is dough mixing. This is the number 1 thing in any plant. We need to mix the dough. And we are fortunate enough that we have 2 of these mixers retired from Islamabad. They will need some reconditioning to be put them back into service. And I'm sure with good maintenance and reconditioning of these mixers, we will be able to, they will be able to serve Jamaat for next 10, 15 years with no issues at all. And these mixers, 2 of them will mix 100 kg of dough at a time. And 100 kg dough takes about 15 minutes to mix roughly. So at stage 2, that's where we're gonna start developing and building machines in-house, custom made for Ghana Jamaat. So it's going to be made in UK here by me and my team member. And the best thing about us making this machinery in-house is firstly cost saving. The majority of the cost comes from design aspects, and which we will be saving a lot of money. So we'll be sacrificing our time to benefit Jamaat. Just to give you a quick highlight, the main key point of this machine is going to be, we're going to have fully adjustable dough ball size. We can range the roti from 60 grams all the way to 100 grams. Roti, pita bread, we can adjust the weight of it. Stage 3 is dough ball resting conveyor, which is a 2 minutes long conveyor system. And again, this is going to be built in Ghana. We're going to source all the material, the designs, everything is going to be built in Ghana on site, because it could be quite big to transport on a shipping container from UK to Ghana. So at stage 3, this is where we had a huge discussion with the team in Africa and UK, is what shape and what form of roti that we're going to be making. So again, this machine is going to be custom built or modified according to needs of Jamaat in Ghana. So this machine here at stage 4 is called a sheeta. This dictates the thickness, the shape, the size of the pita bread or the roti. So here we have a few examples. We have roti size. We can have round roti that I'm sure most of you have eaten at Jalsa Salana UK. And then we have pita bread. And then we can have slightly thicker bread that's more suitable for our community in Ghana. So during the design aspect, we should be able to fine tune and adjust the machine according to our members' needs back in Africa. So at stage 5, this is again another cooling conveyor that's going to be built in Ghana on site, and probably all materials and everything will be sourced in Africa. And any time that we work with the bread dough itself, it needs some resting. So this is going to be the final resting time for the bread before it goes into our oven. So this is our main industrial oven that operates around 500 to 600 degrees. And we are expecting our oven in Ghana to be operating at 24 hours, if need to be, to meet the demand of vast number of members coming to Jalsa. So again, this is we already have in stock. We have it here at Dikatul Mehdi, which needs some reconditioning work, and will be shipped to Ghana just in time for installation and everything. And obviously with all this project, we are keeping in mind, firstly, number 1 priority is cost. Secondly, we are keeping in mind that how we're going to save money and how we can further automate this project in future. And the last component of this roti plant, this project, is going to be the cooling conveyors. And that I've been speaking to Mr. Hassan in Africa. So he's our architecture, that how much space we have there to be able to build a cooling conveyor according to our requirements in Ghana, because they come in various shapes and sizes. And I understand this project is not a small project. It will require a lot of time from us, from people in Ghana, and a lot of hard work. And but inshallah, we are capable of pushing it through. Yes, financial sacrifice is very important, but we do also need all of the prayers involved in this project. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you guys will have. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Fatisab, for that beautiful presentation. I'm pretty sure we'll probably keep the questions to the end due to time factor. I now call on the architect, Hassan Saleh, who is also here to give his presentation. If Hassan Sab is ready. Hassan, are you okay?
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, Aslam, yes.
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. I'm right here. Jazakallah Ahmed Saib. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. By way of introduction, my name is Hassan Sali. I'm an architect in Ghana. I've been practicing for over a decade. Also a member of the IAAE Ghana. And so every time opportunity presents itself for us to sacrifice by way of our professions, alhamdulillah, we are always happy to, and I'm excited about this project. About a year ago, Ahmed Saab got in touch with me about this project. I thought it was such a lovely project, and we've been working at it. We've had a couple of meetings, and finally, alhamdulillah, we've had the blessings of Huzur to proceed. And just as Fateh has presented, my role here is to basically design the enclosure that will, house the plant. As at now, a specific site has not been selected, even though in our very early conversations with Amir Saib Ghana, there was suggestions of certain areas that could be considered. And so I'm working with one of those. And so I'll just share my screen in a moment, and I'll take you through what it is we are thinking about so far. To start with, this is Bostani Ahmed. I'm not sure if you can see my screen yet, but I just wanted to show members. Okay. Ahmed, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yeah, you're visible, yeah.
Okay, Jazakallah. Okay, so as you can see, the red line here outlines what we all know as Bostani Ahmed, for those of us who have been in Ghana. And just for context, up north here is the MTA Wahab Adam Studios. And this is the entrance to Bostani Ahmed down here. And this is the area that the initial conversations have outlined that, like Ahmed Saib said in his presentation, it's important that the facility is able to serve the general public as well when it's not serving Jalsa. And so the whole idea was to, as much as possible, have it as close to the main road as possible so that others can also access the facility. So this is roughly the area that we've been talking about so far, just by way of context. And then I'll go into the actual layout in a second. Right. Okay. Right. So for those of us who are able to understand architectural plans a little bit, so based on the information I got from Fateh Saab, who's the engineer, we're needing about 250 square meters to be able to house the plant. So the design I've done here, I mean, very early days yet, it's a very simple warehouse structure, prefabricated steel structure. The whole idea is that in case of the future where there might be the need for expansion, it should be possible to just simply add extra frames and then extended by a module. So it's a 5-meter module. So each of these units you see here are 5 meters. And so you can continue to expand as and when the need arises. And also one thing that became important was that, or that is always important for a facility like this, is ancillary facilities. So definitely there'll be the need for changing rooms, there will be a need for an office and some storage areas. And so all of that needs to be considered. I haven't received the full layout yet because I know it's still in design, the engineering layout. So this is just by way of placeholder, just to give a sense of how some of the production plants or units of the production plants can be arranged around the space. So that's a very simple layout. Again, I'll share a more realistic 3D for those who are more familiar, or it's a lot easier for them to read 3 dimensions. So in a minute or so, it should be on your screen. Let me turn off my video just to see. Okay.
It's
All
on
right.
now.
So, okay, Jazakallah. So basically, as you can see, very simple warehouse structure. I'm thinking about using brick because brick has some very good thermal qualities. And considering this is more or less, an advanced form of a bakery, there's going to be a lot of heat generated. So clay bricks is always a good way of, helping with insulation, whether inbound or outbound. And so it will be a lot easier to cool the space once you have a material like brick. And since we've been talking about sustainability nowadays, it's also important that energy costs are as low as possible. So that's one of the considerations. Apart from that, the steel, the steel frames are all prefabricated. So there are companies that are able to deliver these very inexpensively, the main frame and then the roofing, and then you do the fill in. So we'll discuss those details later when it comes to the costing and all of that. And just by way of touring, so I mean, this is a rooftop air conditioning system. This has got nothing to do with Roti, but just for the sake of scale, I put this in there for members to get a sense of the scale of the space, and I put in some people, so you get a sense of how much space that is for context. So it's a 5-meter high ceiling, and then it stretches about 12 meters on the short side and about 20 something meters. I don't remember the exact, but that's what I did to be able to achieve the 25 square meters. Again, like I said, important that there are other facilities like an office, changing rooms and stuff like that. So that can also be done within the warehouse structure. And the idea is to use what you call drywall or gypsum board, drywall partition, so that this is also flexible. It can be adapted to the users as the years go by. And then also because there's a high ceiling, there's opportunity to do some storage on the roof, or at least what you might call a mezzanine up here. So those are some of the things, those are some of the thoughts that I'm having so far. By no means a complete design yet. Still waiting on a bit more details from the engineer, but as far as I'm concerned, I think this is simple enough to be able to deploy very quickly as well. So with that, unless there are any questions for me to answer or any concerns, I know that we've had conversations about possibly adding solar to it as well. So, but that obviously, I don't know if that's part of the budget right now, but hopefully in the future, we'll be able to integrate solar. The good thing about solar is that the provisions can be made in terms of the electrical wiring and everything, a location for possible batteries and all of that. And then when we are ready to go green or greener, we just put in the solar panels and connect them. And so that is always available. Thankfully, in Ghana, one thing that we never run out of is sunshine. And so, inshallah, we have a huge roof to be able to generate quite a lot of solar. I know at the end of the day, so that we can plan for that. But with that, I'll say Jazakallah, Ahmed, Saib, and members. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hassan Saab, I guess viewers, you have seen it. You've seen the whole Roti design itself. Likewise, you have seen the plant, and this is just a blessing of our Jamaat as well, that through the approval and the blessings of the Khilafat, we as members of PAAMA here have given this opportunity to present this as a gift to our homeland, Africa. I guess some of us probably might not be very familiar with the history of the whole Roti planting the Jamaat and how it came about. So if we have our brother Sarakat, we can just play a short video on the whole Roti and why Jamaat is so much affiliated with Roti from the time of the Promised.
The remote village of Qadian in India hosted its first Jalsa Salana in 1891 with a total attendance of 70. These guests were accommodated within the household of the promised Messiah والسلام, and catered by Hazrat Ammajan radiallahu ta'ala anha. The stew and roti bread were all prepared and cooked by Hazrat Ammajan. But since this humble beginning, we have seen that the kitchen of the promised Messiah, as prophesied, has expanded immensely. To cater for the thousands of guests, innovative resources have been used, one being a roti producing plant. This is the second year in which the UK Jamaat has been using the new Roti plant, which was installed within Hadikatul Mehdi, on the same pattern as the Roti plants in Qadian and Rabwa. A barn was converted into a bakery within 10 weeks by a team of engineers and electricians, all being volunteers. The designing of the lights, extraction fans, windows were all designed by the engineers, in appliance with the regulation of the authorities. The first stage to making the roti is the mixing of the dough. 64 kilograms flour, 33 liters of water, yeast, oil, sugar and salt are mixed together and kneaded by a machine. This year, the UK Jamaat has improved its facilities by bringing in 2 large mixers as opposed to 1 small mixer and 1 large mixer, which was used in the past year. After it is mixed, the dough stands for precisely 3 hours in their trays so that it has enough time to rise. This is a fixed cycle. The second step is the making of dough balls. Dough is loaded into the divider hopper. The rotating screws push it forward. There are 3 outlets from which the balls come out. The cutting blades chop the extruding dough into balls of desired weight. The weight is set by sensors. First, the balls are pressed under the first pressing area where they take the shape of oval roti. This oval roti is then pushed under a second pressing area where this oval roti is pressed in the other direction where it becomes round. This unbaked round roti now travels forward through conveyors towards the oven. The oven has a temperature of around 500 degrees. The roti moves onto a conveyor belt where the bottom of the roti is baked, and simultaneously, because of high temperature on the top, the surface is also baked. It takes around 7 to 9 seconds time in the oven. A fully blown up roti is a sign of exceptional quality. The roti is actually still cooking when it goes onto the conveyor belt, as the steam in the roti cooks the inside of the roti as well. The roti then becomes slightly cooler before they are packed. Last year, the rotis were wrapped in paper, but to ensure a longer life of the rotis, they are now packed in plastic airtight bags. The maximum speed of production can be around 10,000 rotis in 1 hour. During the 3 days of Jalsa, some 150,000 rotis are going to be produced each day by volunteers who work in 2 shifts a day, round the clock, to ensure that the thousands of guests of the Promised Messiah are provided with enough rotis.
I started working here in the plant about 2 months ago. I came here for Bukhari Amal and Nazim plant. Agha Sabi asked me to join his team since I'm becoming a category engineer. So my basic role at the plant is to basically look after the whole plant when it's running, and especially when rotis are going into the oven, and we're going to run another round, produce more rotis. We're just waiting for the dough to proof. We wait for 3 hours, till the dough gets ready to, so then we start making rotis. And it's actually about time that we start making rotis now.
जलसा हमारा ये दिन बरकतों के खुदा की इनायत और शफ़क़तों के ये जलसा हमारा ये दिन बरकतों के खुदा की इनायत और शफ़क़तों के.
Jazakumullah Sarakat Sab for that video. I guess we've all seen it. And again, if you have just joined us, this is a fundraising event for the Roti bread factory that is being put together by the whole PAAMA world, but most importantly, approved and blessed by our beloved Huzur to be given to the Ghana Jamaat. And that is why we are all here. And all we just want everyone to say is to understand the whole essence of this project, and then also give generously so that we can raise the funds. Even if 100 people today decide to say we are giving £100 each, that will be us way over the actual figures that we're even looking for. But we hope that we'll even be able to do more than that. We now have our brother Nuruddin Ahmed Jahangir Sab to give us the whole sense of financial sacrifice, because obviously this requires us to financially sacrifice in the cause of the Almighty Allah, in the cause of also the Jamaat of the Promised alayhi salam. Nuruddin Jahangir Sab.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you can hear me well. I'm not
loud and clear, yes.
Excellent. I do apologize if it does cut out at any moment. Jazakallah for letting me speak about such a vast topic. It's a topic which I can go on for the rest of this meeting. But I will try to confine what I do say just to some of the quotes of what our promised Messiah alayhi salam and his Khulafa have said over the many years, the Jamaat has been established. And I think it's just to remind us of the importance of something which is not just important to Ahmadi Muslims, it is something which Allah Almighty has ordained for, ever since He sent His prophets, He's told them that this is also part of their teachings as well, to do good works and to give charity as well and to look after one another. So, without further ado, I will begin with what the promised Messiah alayhi salam has told us about this era that we're living in right now. He says, "What a blessed time this is! No one is asked to lay down his life. This is not the time for offering the ultimate sacrifice. Rather, it is the time to spend out of one's possessions according to one's means." So, there was a time, the early Islam where the requirement was for the Muslims to lay down their lives for the sake of their faith. But we are in a blessed time where that is no longer needed of us. The real jihad now for us is to give from our possessions, from our wealth, from our means, and that is what will give us the most blessings in this era. Then after him, the first Khalifa, Maulana Hakim Nuruddin radiallahu anhu, he talked about spending your wealth in the way of Allah. He said, in order to receive divine favors, it is necessary that one should go through fear. Fear of what? Fear of Allah? Fear of the enemy? Fear of the apostasy of some foolish people with weak faith? But this will not be enough. The fact is that this is a prophecy. Allah Almighty says, I will test you with fear and hunger, and loss of property and lives and fruit. Hunger also comes from fasting. So this verse tells us to keep fasts or to spend so much by way of sadaqah and charity that you reach the state of starvation. Spend so much out of your property that it should become less, and also spend your lives in His cause and similarly your harvests. So he's saying that God Almighty is not just telling us that He's not just saying something in a verse, just like there'll come a time. He's saying that this is a prophecy when you will find opportunities to give up parts of your wealth, part of your life, part of your time, part of your everything, basically. So we must also remember this, and when it does come, when those opportunities do arise, then we should be ready for that. Then Hazrat Muslim or Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad, may Allah be his helper, Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad, may Allah be pleased with him, he talks about the increase in demand for financial sacrifice after the promised Messiah alayhi salam. He says some people raise the objection that the promised Messiah, peace be upon him, said that whoever gives even a pesa every 3 months is an Ahmadi. A pesa is like a small portion of a rupee. Such people don't realize. Why is it then that an anna out of a rupee is required for chanda each month? So it was increased then. Why do we have to give more? Such people don't realize that the Holy Quran has said that the Jamaat of the Messiah will be like a bud in the beginning, and then it will keep growing. That is to say, it will progress in sacrifices and will grow stronger. It is wrong to imagine that the Jamaat will be larger in the beginning and will then become less. Rather, it says that it will be weak and will grow stronger, which means that its faith will grow stronger. If anyone is afraid that this amounts to dishonoring the faithful people of the promised Messiah's time, he should know that it may be that the people who come afterwards do not have such faith as they did. The promised Messiah, peace be upon him, said, how will it be if every one of the Ummah were like Nuruddin? Yes, it is possible that people of such sincerity may not come in the future, but these prominent personalities who served as the pillars of the Jamaat were but a few, and it is possible that time may not produce time may not produce their like. But overall, the faith and sacrifice of the Jamaat is on the increase. True hypocrites are also on the increase, and they existed even at the time of the promised Messiah, peace be upon him. And he has even mentioned of them, but they were not prominent at that time because the level of sacrifice was so minor that the sacrifice made by a sincere one could also be made by a hypocrite. Now that the time has come to make greater sacrifices, the hypocrites have begun to fall, and the sincere ones are progressing in their sacrifices. The distinction we see today is not because there were no hypocrites before and there are now. Rather, it is because there was no such distinction between the hypocrites and the believers as there is now. So we are in a time right now where, the level of sacrifices have definitely increased, but we must also look at the level of our faith. how strong we are in our connection with Khilafat, with the Prophet ﷺ, and with our faith of Islam. Then Hazrat Mirza Nasir Ahmed Rahimahullah, he talks about our obligation. He says, Allah has created us for the victory of Islam. Our job is to do whatever it is in our power to bring this about and to offer every sacrifice in this cause. Even if our efforts fall short of the necessary requirement, Allah will Himself do the rest by His grace. Our spiritual eye can discern the victory of Islam over the horizon of the current turmoil, but we will still have to make sacrifices for it, and will have to spend our time and money in this cause. Then Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad Rahimahullah, the fourth Caliph of the Ahmadi Muslim community, he tells us why there is a need for us to keep reminding people about financial sacrifice, as we are doing today, with this program as well. He says the reason why the Holy Quran has repeatedly instructed us to make financial sacrifices is that these sacrifices purify people and cleanse their hearts. As a result of it, a believer attains greater taqwa, that is righteousness. The society is reformed and rejuvenated and gets rid of many evils. I can't do without reminding the Jamaat of this, because the true philosophy and spirit of sacrifice is that you are like beggars in the path of Allah. If you do not make sacrifices, you will be the losers. And the Holy Quran teaches us that those who make sacrifices in the way of Allah, their possessions are greatly blessed by Him. One point which the Holy Quran makes is that you will grow richer by spending in the way of Allah. For in so doing, you will become closer to the one who is self-sufficient. And if you cut asunder from Him, you will become poor. Thus, when religious communities forget about financial sacrifice, they are afflicted with adversity. On the other hand, if they eagerly offer sacrifices, they are blessed with countless bounties. We must understand this secret and use it also for national economic development. And finally, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad Nualabi's helper, the current Khalifa, it wasn't so long, it was just 2 days ago, he was talking again about the importance of sacrifice and its link with Khilafat as well. He said that Allah the Almighty has also commanded the paying of zakat, which is very necessary for purifying one's wealth. In order for one to purify their wealth, this is necessary. This also includes other forms of financial sacrifices. Today, we see that this financial system exists only through the Ahmadiyya community. It is in obedience to the Khalifa of the time that by offering financial contributions, the needs of the Jamaat members and the Jamaats are being fulfilled. If there is a shortage in one country, then that shortage is resolved by another country. So today, I pray that we are able to fulfill these words and be those who fulfill the needs of those around us, of our neighbors, of our neighboring countries, of our brothers and sisters in humanity. May Allah enable us to not just remember these words, but also try to inculcate the spirit of sacrifice as well. Just giving money in itself is not something which Allah desires of us. He wants to see the true spirit of sacrifice. Eid al-Adha is coming up as well, and that is a time where sacrifice is a massive theme. But as He says in the Holy Quran, Allah has told us that the meat that we sacrifice, that doesn't reach Allah. It is the taqwa in us, the righteousness in us, the spirit of being ready to make any sacrifice that Allah required of us. Just as Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Hazrat Ishmael alayhi salam were ready to give the ultimate sacrifice, then that is what will be accepted by Allah. So I pray that may Allah enables us to inculcate that spirit and be ready to make any sacrifice that is required of us. Jazakumullah. Back to you, Ahmed Zab, if you're still there.
Jazakumullah for that insightful insight into the whole essence of the financial sacrifice. I'm pretty sure our members are really kind of motivated or morale boosted to really donate heavily or willingly, generously, so that we can actually achieve this target that we have even by the close of today. Regional President, once again, I just want to remind you and those of you who are on the call, do not let us just listen to these messages or this wonderful event on our own. Continue to share the messages with each and every one of us so that everyone can actually benefit from this wonderful blessings that we all benefiting today from this Roti project that we are donating towards. I'm not too sure whether Naiba Mir1, is Naiba Mir1 joined us yet from Ghana? He's supposed to give a presentation now. He was in a program. Salakum, everyone, are you on? Okay. We will now go on to Ibrahim Bonsu Sal. Ibrahim Bonsu, if you are ready, you can now take us through the whole means of making the promises or the pledge, and then how to make the payment. And before that goes on, I just want to remind you again that you're all to donate generously. And at this juncture, if you have your phone ready, get it ready, because it's going to take us through, and we all just go through step by step. I'm ready here, and I can guarantee you my promise is already down there. I'm going to give at least 1,000 because I want my name to be on that there. So I'm number one on that list there. So Ibrahim Bonsu, I'm going to join you, but I want everyone to get your phones ready. If you are using any gadget, grab another phone where you can literally just take this the QR code on the screen, the screen, and then follow Ibrahim as he take you through the whole processes. However, if you don't have it as well, chanda.org.uk is on the screen as well. You can just type that in your phone or just click it on the chat room. And I know some of you have been sharing messages there to know how to make the promises and to make the payment. That has been shared in the chat room as well, so that no one is deprived of this particular blessing. But before anything I do, I just pass on to Ibrahim Saab to take us through the processes of pledging and then also to make the payment. Ibrahim Bonsu.
Jazakallah Amesab. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My name is Ibrahim Bonsu. I'm currently serving as the Muavin Sadr Pan-Africa UK and also the Sadr Jamaat of Leicester. So inshallah, I'll be taking you through the process of making your promise or also making payments online. And as Ahmed has already mentioned, the information has already been put in the chat facility as well. But inshallah, because today is a fundraising day, I will please request members to move alongside with me so that you can make your promises and also make some payment, inshallah, by the close of today. You know, there are many other appeals from Jamaat within the year, and there's a saying that procrastination is a thief of time. So if you've got the opportunity, then please do. Even if you make your promise of, say, 500,000 pounds and beyond, even if you haven't got the money, inshallah, whatever you've got today, you can put it down. You can pay today as a seed, and inshallah, Allah Almighty will open the way for you to clear your promises. Ahmed Saab did mention in terms of making the promises, there are installments, although ideally we'll expect members, to have made or clear all their promises by the end of the year, but there is the opportunity for members within 1 year to pay it installment. And that means by the end of May 2026, we'll have expected that all members will have cleared their arrears so that we can move on with the project. So if you are watching this or listening to this on your laptop, just like Ahmed Saab said, you can pick up your phone because we've got some QR code to show, or you can grab a second phone if you are watching this on your phone so that you can do the promises and make some payment as we move along. And may Allah Almighty bless everyone and grant you manifold in return for everything that you give towards this project. And once again, just to reiterate that members who make promises or pay £500 and beyond, your names will be submitted to our beloved Imam, Hazrat Amir al-Mu'minin, Hazrat Khalifa al-Masih al-Khamis, Aydahu Ta'ala bin Nasr al-Aziz, for special prayers. And you know this project has been blessed and approved by our beloved Imam. And for those who are able to give £1,000 and beyond, then do remember the name, your name, or the name of your family, inshallah Aziz, will be engraved on the factory, on the bread roti plant factory, for your future generation to know the sacrifice that you contributed towards this project. So Sadaka Sab, if you can go to the next slide, please. Jazakallah. So we've got a very simple form. It's already, because this project, as Ahmed Saab did mention, has been launched before already. You might have received the Google Forms. But like I said, please move alongside with me. And as I go through, you can make your promises. So we've got the QR code, which we've showcase on the platform, the Zoom platform. Please grab your second phone and just scan it. Then you can easily enter through the Google form. Or if you click the hyperlink, which is on the chat facility, you can also go through the Google form as well. So we're now going to go through the Google form of making the promises. Also to mention to members that this contribution or this appeal is not only limited to PAAMA members. As a matter of fact, it's open to all Jamaat members who are in a position or who are willing, contribute towards this. So please don't limit the message to yourself alone. Please pass it to all Jamaat members. As you know, there are so many members of the Jamaat who were born in Africa by specific, by design. Maybe they are not officially, we say, part of the PAAMA, but they have strong desire to always contribute towards something within which is being done in Africa. And that's the spirit of Jamaat Ahmadiyya. So please do. So on the first page of the promises page, I believe members have been able to open the link to where you can make the promises. If anyone is still willing, we can still go back to the QR code. But if you are all okay, then we can just go through. This is just a simple and straightforward form. So the first page, as you can see, it asks you the question whether you are a PAAMA member or not. So, okay, Sadaka Saab, if you can bring back again, then give members about 1 minute because people want to still scan the QR code. So we'll leave the QR code on for about a minute. So members, please grab your phone. If you're using your phone on the Zoom, just grab your wife's phone, grab your husband's phone, the phone, or your elder child who is suitable for a phone and who's got one. Grab it and just scan the QR code. Then we can move on. So, it's the need of the time. And if you do it as we continue to, progress with this fundraising, then there's greater blessings in it as well. So please scan the QR code or check the chat facility and click on the link. Then we can move on to the Google form. I believe everyone is okay now. So Sadaka Saab, if we can move on to the Google form, Jazakallah. So yes, back to the Google form. So it's just simple. It asks you the question, are you a PAAMA member? So for the purposes of this presentation, let's say you're a PAAMA member. So you just click yes. Then you click on the next button. The next button, which takes you to the next page. Then it's ask you about the PAAMA chapter. Remember, this is an international project. So it's not only the UK members who are involved in this, but today's fundraising is for the UK members. But I believe many also have joined from other countries to see the whole background to the project. For the UK members, you click PAAMA UK. Then you move on to the next button. Then within the PAAMA country, we've got the various PAAMA regions. So you select which region you belong to. Let's say it's PAAMA North for today. You just click PAAMA North, and then you put down your name. And I think Ahmed Saab, because he will be contributing about 100,000. Let's put Konedu Saab's name there. And yep, and if you've got your AIMS number, for these promises, the AIMS number, the AIMS ID is not showing asterisks. So it doesn't matter whether you've got AIMS number or not, you can still make promises. And we are aware that some members have recently, not long ago, joined or come to the United Kingdom, and perhaps they are in the process of processing their AIMS ID. So not everyone perhaps has got their AIMS ID, but if you've got your AIMS ID, then we request you put your AIMS ID there. Then you
just
click.
a quick, Ibrahim, stop, just emphasize on the fact that the AIMS is just a UK AIMS ID you're referring to here, so that
Okay,
people
yes.
don't get.
Yes, so the AIMS ID, just in reference to the UK AIMS ID that I'm referring to, the Tajneed number. If you register with the Tajneed or within the United Kingdom, you'll be given a number of identification. That is the number I'm referring to as the AIMS ID. So the currency, obviously, pounds. Yep. Then you put the amount there. I mean, being moderate with Amazon, so let's put £1,000 there, inshallah. I know he will go more, maybe he will double it or triple it, or maybe more than that, Jazakallah. And because the project has already been launched, I believe a number of people have already made promises already. So you can put how much you've already donated under the amount donated column. Then you go to your email. So you can see all those with the asterisks. These are information which are required, because along the year throughout, members will be reminded, you get to know how much you promise, so that we continue to remind you as well, so that you can clear your promises. So you put down your email. You can push test at Google Mail, something like that. Yeah, just for the sake of today. Yep. Jazakallah. Then you put down your mobile number so that we can stay in communication. Your regional president, PAAMA regional president, will be in regular contact, or the representative who has been assigned within the region will be in regular contact to remind you and also to encourage you in terms of clearing the arrears. So when you've done this, you simply just press submit. It's just a simple and straightforward form. We will now also go back. If anyone has got any question, because although there will be opportunity for questions at the end of this fundraising, but within this sector of the payment or the promises, if you've got any question, you can easily put it in the chat. And Ahmed, you can let me know if there is a question in the chat facility. So Sadaka Sab, if we can go back again, because what we've done is for members who are PAAMA members. But for non-PAAMA members, they can also give their promises. Yes. So there's a question that I'm in Ireland. Can I still use my AIM number? Yes, I believe the Irish, you can clarify if you are able, because I believe the Ireland AIMS number, they also work within the United Kingdom. I believe that's the situation. We can clarify that.
I
Or we can
should
find
think
out.
so. I think so. Yes, Ireland is sort of part of the UK. Nasir Khan Sahib is here. I don't know whether he wants, or maybe President Toby Collins probably might be able to help us with the answer for that one.
Yeah, so Northern Ireland is part of the UK Jamaat, as we know. So Northern Ireland is the Republic of Ireland is not, obviously. If you say that, you're going to start World War III. So,
this one is Republic of Ireland.
Part of UK, so let's be careful what to say in here. So if you're in Republic of Ireland, that's a set. But of course, and I'll put my hand up to clarify this point, because I know the question was raised about AIMS ID. AIMS ID is not just a UK thing. AIMS ID is now, by the grace of Allah, most Jamaats across the world, especially the European countries, use AIMS ID. So, and I was going to request Ibrahim as well, when you finish going through the non-PAAMA members, because this is the PAAMA International Project, and I can see we have with us here the respected president of PAAMA Germany, Ibrahim Niaba Ali Sahib. We have the newly appointed president of PAAMA France, Tahib Boukassi Sahib is here with us. I can see Younes Uhusu, who's the general secretary of PAAMA Spain, with us here. So if you can also go through at least one of the other chapters, how to donate if you're not a PAAMA UK member. So for those members who are not members of PAAMA UK, they also have some context how to donate. But to go back to your question, Northern Ireland is part of the UK Jamaat, Republic of Ireland is not. By all means, you're welcome to donate. And if you have AIMS ID in Ireland, feel free to use that. And if you don't, obviously, you still can donate without an AIMS ID. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah, President Saab. Yes, yeah. So this form is for collating the promises. So just like President Saab has mentioned, yeah. So go ahead and do your promises. Okay, so now we go back. Now we'll be looking at for members who are not PAAMA members. So it's back to the start of the form. So you put no, then you click next. Yeah. So similar procedure. You put your name over there, and the next will be the AIMS ID as usual, if it's available, and the country. Yep. So for the purposes of today, United Kingdom, and the currency, the pounds. Yep. Okay, we've got Scotland there. Yep. Then the amount promised you put there as usual, as we did for the first one. The amount donated, if you've already donated, you put it over there. Then the email, then the mobile number as usual. So you can see that it's just simple and straightforward form. Then when you've done that, you just click submit. So all the information will be collated, and inshallah will aziz, like I said, you've got a 6-month period or 12-month period to pay the installment, but you also be reminded along the way. So we'll go back to the beginning of the form as well. Just like President Saab did mention, just for the sake of our respected members who have joined us from the other countries as well. So maybe we'll just choose Germany. So Saab, if you go through the form. Okay, yeah. So yes, if you're a PAAMA member, you click yes. Yes, then the chapter, say, let's say PAAMA Germany or whatever. Yes, it's okay, PAAMA Belgium, that's fine. Okay, you got Germany, all right, okay. Yep, so you put your name as usual. Yep, your AIMS ID, which various members within the PAAMA chapters international have got the AIMS ID, but if only it's available, so you can see that side is not asterisk. So it's euros, you put euros there, and the amount as usual. Then if you've already, because I believe this has been launched in the various PAAMA international, various countries as well. So the amount you've already donated, you put there your email, then your mobile number. So depending on the country, your president, those who are in charge will collate your promises. And inshallah, you can also make your donation accordingly. So that was just to benefit our members who have joined us from the other country. So is there any question regarding, like I said, this is just a simple and straightforward form. Do we continue? It's not, today's only the fundraising, but like I said, we'll continue to forward these by the various PAAMA regional presidents. They'll continue to forward the forms, but there's also more blessings, inshallah, if you can straight away do your promises. So along the way, maybe at the end, perhaps Amesa will also let us know how much promises that we've been able to accrue today. I'm hoping.
Okay, just a quick one again on the, we have a message in the group. Regional presidents share the promises link with the members in the various groups, because people are asking, they want to see them in the WhatsApp group. Some of them are not able to use the Zoom here to make the promises. So please do share with the various groups. Nasser Adam, if you can share with all the regional president, please fire them across your group. Now I'll pass them back to Ibrahim Saab. And remember, we want to click our 30,000 or more today. So keep going, guys. Ibrahim Saab, back to you.
Jazakallah, Amir Saab. If anyone, in addition to that, if anyone, for some reason, perhaps is not able to access the Google form or for whatever reason, do let your regional president know. They will be able to help you in terms of doing the promises and also the payment. Now, as we finish the promises, now we'll go to the payment section.
Ibrahim Saab, even just a quick one. For whatever reason, if you are struggling to actually make any join us with the promises, you can just leave your name and then your number with any of us, myself, Ibrahim Saab, even President Tommy Kalon himself. And right after, we will reach, or even send it to your president if you know your president, your PAAMA president. And what we do is we just reach out to you immediately after to help you make the promise and the payments as well, inshallah. Ibrahim Saab, back to you. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah, Ahmed Sab. So now we're going to go through how to make payment online. I believe many members, especially in the UK after the COVID, when we've entered more into more of nearly a cashless society, and many of us are familiar with the chanda.org.uk facility. And for the purposes of this presentation, we've also made the QR code available on the screen. We've also shared the link in the chat facility. And it's also, as you can see, so if you can grab your phones and go to chanda.org.uk or just scan the QR code, which you can easily. I think the function is normally linked with the phone and the camera facility of the various smartphones. So you can scan the QR code, then you can move alongside with me to chanda.org.uk. And also to let members know that with the chanda.org.uk is limited at the moment to members who have got the AIMS number or the AIMS ID or the identification number. I know previously some members were able to access using a temporary code, but security purposes now is with members who have got the AIMS ID. But that doesn't mean those who haven't got the AIMS ID, you are left behind in terms of the payment. We will also go through that, how to make payments. So if you are ready, if you finish scanning, we can move along, then we can go to chanda.org.uk. So Sadakat Sab. Jazakallah. So if you visit chanda.org.uk, this is the front page that you come to. So you can see the first column, which requests for your member code, which is the AIMS ID. So for the purpose of this presentation, we just drop some numbers in. And for the personal remarks, you can put PAAMA UK, or we also know that some members, you can put the Roti plan. We also know that some members have also made promises under family name that, for instance, if they've made promises of 5,000, they want to put maybe Konedu and family or something like that. You can add to the remarks there. However, because it identifies a member code, you can simply just put PAAMA UK. But also when we come down, there's a way to pay. So just the remarks is optional. You don't have to put anything at all. And with this facility as well, you can pay for individual members as well. It's not that you pay when you can add so many payments at the same time and finally pay all of them together. So now you've put your AIMS ID, then you can move downwards to the breakdown. So you can find the PAAMA UK appeal under the other. So you've got other one, other two, other three. So you can just choose one, other one. Then you choose PAAMA UK. So at the moment, the appeal which is ongoing for PAAMA UK is the Roti project at the moment. So whatever you contribute by identifying PAAMA UK, it will go down towards your donation. Then on the side, you put the amount. So if members are following me, if you've made promises, this is just an opportunity. Please put down your AIMS number. If whatever amount you've got today, even if you've made promise 1,000, 2,000 or 500, and even if you've got 50, 20, 50 pounds, you can just put it as a baseline, and inshallah Aziz, now form as a seed and a blessing for Allah Almighty to open the way to clear your arrears come the end of the year or come the end of May 2026. So let's say £10 for now. Okay, then we'll move downwards. Then we've got the gift aid declaration. You know, all taxpayers within the United Kingdom are able to claim some tax relief from the tax that they've paid to the government. You know, the tax that they've paid or for donations that they've made towards a charity organization. You know, the Jamaat is registered in the United Kingdom as a charity organization. So whatever donation you make to the Jamaat, you can get tax relief back. If you click the gift aid declared, that means the Jamaat is able to get that tax relief on your behalf. And that will be an extra sacrifice contribution from you as well. If you are not sure of your tax status, just click gift aid declared, because it depends on whatever you've got there. If you haven't got any there, then nothing will come back. So for the sake, just to get everything through, just click gift aid declared. And when you've done that, you click add to basket. You see the amount that you are paying, it is showing as a grand total. And if you look on top, you can see the blue saying add another recipient. So which means you can add, so I don't know how many people now, but you can add multiple number of, yeah. So in case you've done for yourself, maybe the husband has promised £1,000, the wife is promising another £1,000, then you can add the wife's AIMS ID here. If the children have decided to make their own separate promises, then you can come back and also put their AIMS ID there and go through the same process and make donation for them accordingly. Yep, so you click PAAMA UK, yep. That's it. Let's say £10, gift aid declared, add to basket. So you can see that you've got the receipt for the first person, the second person, so you can add additional to it as well. And when you finish all the payment that you want to make for the day, you just click finish and pay. Then it will take you to the final stage where you put your card details. We're not going to put any details today for security and for the purpose of this presentation. So you put your name, email, address, postcode, your card details. And when you've done that, you just click pay. And one very good, excellent facility with this online payment system, as soon as you click pay, you get a notification in your email about the amount you've paid. And that shows the level of accountability within the Jamaat as well. So, my dear brothers, sisters, so this is the way to, I believe a lot of us are familiar with chanda.org. And if you've not been able to scan the QR code, you want to go through again, please scan it. Then as this presentation or as this fundraising, because it's a fundraising day, you want to get the majority of payments today. Maybe not majority of the whole amount you've promised, but at least majority in terms of the participation. We want a lot of people to participate today. So please try and just complete the form, make the promises, make the payments today. Whatever you've got, you can put it as a baseline, as a seed for Allah Almighty to open the way for you to clear the areas, inshallah. So the next slide. So the next slide, please. And so in terms of the payment on chanda.org, that is for the members who have got a AIMS ID. But however, if you want to pay cash, whichever Jamaat you belong to, you can also still pay cash to your Jamaat finance secretary. And all that you say is that the payment is towards PAAMA UK. So when they write the cash receipt for you, under the remarks, they will put PAAMA UK, and all the donations will eventually go under PAAMA UK. That's for those who wants to make the payment but haven't got. However, you can still contact your president, regional president, and they will be able to help you to find a way to make the payment. Why am I saying this? We all know that there's a lot of PAAMA members or Africans who have recently entered or come to the United Kingdom, who may be living in a place, or maybe they are not aware of their PAAMA region or their president. Even they are aware, or maybe they know their Jamaat in terms of the Jamaat center, and maybe they live far away, and maybe they haven't got their AIMS ID, and also difficult for them to pay cash to the Jamaat secretary. If that is the case, then please, the number you see on the Zoom platform, please forward your details or the email, and we'll get back to you and help you to get in touch and to know your PAAMA region, and also get in touch with your PAAMA president so that they can help you to make your promises and also to make payment towards this blessed scheme. So you've got the number there. If we can also maybe leave the number in the chat facility so that members can still access the number. That's for those who don't know their PAAMA region, they don't know their president, they live far away from the Jamaat center and will find it difficult to make payment. Please contact the number on the platform or the email, and inshallah, we'll get back to you and you'll be able to make your promises so that you are not left out of this blessed scheme. I think in terms of the promises and payments, we've covered, like I said, the forms are straightforward. But today is not the end of this fundraiser, it's ongoing. If you've got any difficulties, please feel free to reach out to your president, any member, any PAAMA member, any of the AMLA members, anyone, if you need any support, Ahmed Sab or Sado Sab, Tumikalon Sab, or anyone, then we're able to help you. Jazakallah for this side of the presentation. If anyone has got any question, then you can put in the chat facility, or maybe Ahmed Sab can help you for you to shout out the question. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I know this is the part that is the sort of the peak of the whole day event. So I would intentionally just leave a room now in case someone in the process. I know Ibrahim Saab has raised your hand. Ibrahim Saab, for this one, we will give you the chance to speak out if you want to say anything, please, or if you want to ask a question about how to make the promise or the payment, please unmute yourself and then say whatever you want to say now. Ibrahim Saab?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, and thank you for the beautiful presentation. I just have one question. I'm Ibrahim Abladon. I'm a member of PAAMA France and the General Secretary of PAAMA France. I just have one question about the promises, and before exactly we have done in PAAMA France, we have integrated a section for our Chanda platform payment. Then we integrate this Roti project in our platform. Then we ask our members to fill the form and to do their promises. I want to ask if this form should be reduced because they have done their promises before, or is already registered in the database, or they have to restart again.
Jazakumullah, I think I'll probably, if President Tommy Fallon Saab is here, he'll probably be able to understand. Yes,
Jazakallah, Ibrahim, Jazakallah for joining. Good to hear from you again. Obviously, I was just in PAAMA France 2 weeks ago, and Ibrahim looked up to us. So Jazakallah, Ibrahim, very much glad to have you on board. So yes, indeed, Ibrahim, some of your members have already filled the Google form. Obviously, I was discussing this with the previous president, Usman Toure Sahib, and now obviously I need to take that up with the new president, Tahib Bukasi Sahib. So yes, if you can't fill this form which has been presented, that will allow us to track all the donations. But I think obviously going forward, we're going to have to work with Wakala Mal and also work with the various finance secretaries across the various Jamaats. I've already requested our in charge of chanda.org.uk, our fund Chaudhry Sahib in the UK, to give us a report for the last, after today, in the next few days, to give us a report of all donations that are coming through the chanda.uk portal. But I think we need to do the same for France, for Germany. For Germany is not yet set up. Germany and Netherlands not yet set up. UK set up, USA set up, France and Canada have been set up already. So for those where they've added the option to donate to PAAMA on their respective chanda portals, we're gonna work with the respective finance departments through Wakala Tumal to give us periodic reports. But if you have a separate form you're filling, from what I understand, Ibrahim, if you have a separate form which I've been asking you to track, where you've been tracking your donations and payments, sorry, your pledges and payments, your pledges and donations, then obviously we need to work together to make that that data visible to us, so we can obviously keep a record of how much we've pledged in total, how much we've raised in pledges, and how much we've raised in donations. So yeah, we need to work together, Ibrahim, on that. So we can take it offline. I can work together with the various finance secretaries within PAAMA, the respective PAAMA chapters, working together with the respective national Jamaat finance departments, obviously coordinating Wakala Tumal centrally at the markers level. So hope that answers your question, Ibrahim. If I miss anything, please feel free to let me know, and I can try to clarify further.
Okay, thank you very much for your clarification. No, we didn't do another promise form. We used the global promise form you have sent it to us to use.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I think this is the only
Yes.
promise form. Okay, thank you very much.
That's good. So in that case, we have the data already of those members who have already promised and paid and through PAAMA funds. In fact, recently I gave an update to all the PAAMA presidents, Canada, USA, France, where we have received promises and payments. So I'll give periodic updates to all the respective presidents so they know who's promised and who and where we are in terms of. So I did give that data to Usman Toure Sahib. Obviously now I need to, going forward, I'll work with Tahir Bokasi Sahib, the new newly appointed, newly approved PAAMA president, France, to give that data to him as well. So you can obviously keep a track from your level as well on where we are in terms of donations and pledges from PAAMA France and the respective PAAMA chapters across the world. Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah. Ibrahim Saab, there's a good news for you today. Since you have joined our fundraising event, you have to donate towards PAAMA UK today, okay? Thank you very much for joining us. This is just a good news for you and all the members who have joined us from around the world. Today, donate only towards PAAMA UK. Thank you. Just kidding. We now move on. Do you have any further questions from anyone? Again, I want to emphasize on regional presidents. The number has... yes, any questions from anyone? Numbers have been set. Yes. Oh, Sadiq Bauke, please carry on, please.
Sadiq, may I know, please, where are they building the Roti plant? Is it Bustani
Okay,
Ahmed?
the answer is Bustani Ahmed. The answer is Bustani. Amir Saab said, if you had been here earlier, the presentation had covered that part from the Ghana, and I think our Naib Amir is coming next. Naib Amir Ghana, Naib Amir One Ghana is just going to speak next and is going to shed more light on that as well. It's actually in Accra, Bustani Ahmed, because Amir Saab is of the view that he wants to make it a bit of a commercial project as well, not just for Jalsa. So it's at Bustani, which is Accra, the very spot where MTA Ghana is also the studio is. Yes.
So is it going to be like just Roti plant or a full kitchen like the UK one?
It's a full plant. That's why I said you missed the earlier part. This video will be shared again, and you can watch everything. Yes, it's a full plant, not just it's just like we have in the UK. In fact, we'll try to beat the UK on that one. Inshallah.
Yeah, but the UK one, we have the kitchen where we cook the food.
Everything, yes. Everything is there. That's exactly what I'm saying. Everything that you see in the UK.
Yeah, so if I may ask, why are we cooking the food during the Jalsa in the Bustani Ahmed and food transport to, what do you call it? The Jalsa ground, where there's a lot of traffic on the road?
Okay, don't worry. I think this question, I even though I know the answer, I will leave it to Naib Amir One Ghana to answer that when he speaks, inshallah. So Jazakumullah for the question.
But just to clarify, though, we're not here to discuss just Salana Ghana, right? So we're here to raise funds for Roti plant in Ghana. Obviously, as Ahmed said, this is just a start. We hope that this is the beginning of many bread factories we're going to do across the African continent. So, but let's not get into Jalsa administration, Jalsa Salana Ghana administration. That's not the purpose of this meeting, Jazakallah.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
My name is Jimo Yusuf Abiodun, Vice President, Kamajani. I've listened to the presentation carefully well, and the presentation is a very superb one. But it's like we in Germany, we are not moving at the same path with the UK, because we don't have this platform here in Germany. So firstly, I want to make an appeal. If we can have somebody to design this for us in Germany, or the person can just link me to how I can go about it, then that will be fine, or the person design it for us. Then secondly, is there, while watching the presentation, is there a means of downloading a receipt on the platform? So that's the
Downloading
question.
what? Was it
The phone is
downloading what? Sorry.
Yeah, like a receipt after the payment on the platform.
Okay,
Like
yes.
the platform generating generating a receipt at the end of the process. Is there any something of sort?
Yes, the moment you finish paying, the receipt will come to you immediately. If in the UK, that is it. But you know, our international coordinator, PAAMA, Tommy Kalunsa, who is also the PAAMA UK president, is here, and I know your president is here as well. So I'll let first of all President Saab say something on that, and if your president want to react to that as well, that would be very much appreciated. President Saab, over to you, Tommy Kalunsa.
Yes, Jazakallah, and then Jazakallah. Sorry, the name was gone. Or Yusuf. Jazakallah Yusuf for the question. I think obviously there may be some gaps in our knowledge here, but I know that your president and like I said, Ibrahim Niabali, President PAAMA Germany, is here with us. He has been working directly with Minister of Germany and the Finance Department Germany. Obviously, we've been chasing them. Likewise, wait for two portals, Germany and the Netherlands. We know that Spain, Italy, and Belgium do not have channel portals. Of all those who have channel portals, the 6 chapters who have portals, we're just waiting for Germany and Netherlands. Once that's up and running, we'll cascade that information out to all the PAAMA members in Germany and the Netherlands so they can donate through their respective channel portals. Obviously, I cannot answer the question about receipts. I don't know how it works in Germany, but I suspect it will be the same as the UK. As Ahmed said, the moment you submit, the moment you finish making the payment, you receive an email confirmation of your donation and a donation receipt as well. So I suspect it will be the same in Germany. There is a Germany channel portal. If you've ever made any donations through that portal, you may have received some receipts. So however it works currently for the channel portal in Germany and the Netherlands, that's how it's going to work as well. So Ibrahim Niabali, I don't know if you want to add anything. I know we've been discussing over the last few weeks and whatever months about setting up the portal, and I know that you've been working with AMISAP Germany directly with this. And if there's any member from PAAMA, Italy, so it's PAAMA, Netherlands as well. I've been working with Muzaffar Avens, the General Secretary, Jamaat Ahmadiyya, Netherlands, and hopefully that will be set up as well soon. Just working with the finance department to get that set up as well. So just those two remaining. Jazakallah.
Okay, I think my question has been sorted because our president who had a meeting with Amir Said some weeks ago in adding PAAMA project on the Chanda payment column, Chanda online payment column, Germany too. So we are waiting for the department that Amir has assigned to do the amendment or changes, whichever way. So then when we get that, well, we know whether it's going to work like the way the presentation has been explained or not. So thank you.
Yes, Jazakallah for that. Yes, that's indeed, like I said, I'm working with all the presidents across the world, and only last Tuesday I got an update from Ibrahim Niabali, the president of PAAMA Germany, and he said the same, that AMISAP is assigned to the National Finance Department. I'm just waiting for them to update the portal so it can give us a facility. I mean, it's just standard governance. Whenever you submit anything on any online payment, you receive an email notification. I suspect it's going to be the same. You will receive a receipt from PAAMA Germany, from Jamaat Ahmadiyya Germany, Germany, the finance team, to say that you made a donation. And of course, like I said, periodically we'll get the respective national finance teams across the world to give an update to Wakala Mal, who are obviously coordinating this on our behalf, not internationally, to give them an update on how much has come through on the respective national Jamaat platform, be it direct to local finance secretaries or on the online portal, how much has been donated to the PAAMA project, and then they will transfer that funds to the markers, and the markers obviously will initiate steps to transfer that to Germany, to Ghana, as and when the fund were ready to kickstart the project in terms of implementation. Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah. I think I know there's a question here that if you don't have your bank AIMS number, whatnot, Sadakat Sab, please kindly keep sharing that particular slide where the details of Nasser Adam is on. So those of you who do not have the AIMS number, or you don't know your presidents and you want to get in touch, if you don't know anyone to get in touch, you can reach out to President Tommy Kalun Sab, you can reach out to myself, or the details which is on the screen now, the number on the screen, the email address, and we'll be able to quickly get back to you and assist you with your promises and your payments, inshallah. Abdul Wahab Sab, Alhaj Abdul Wahab Sab is the Naib Emir of Ghana and Afsad Jasa Salana, Ghana.
Alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam. The floor is yours now.
My name, for introduction, my name is Alhaj Abdul Wahab Isa, Naib Amir 1 and Afsar Jasa Salana, Ghana. As a matter of fact, because of the challenges I've gone through on this, I will not want to speak for too long. But I want to say that today is a very happy day for me, not only for me, but for my Amir Sahib himself and the entire Ghana Jamaat. Our jalsas have increased in size and in volume. For the few of you who may know Ghana, we used to hold our jalsas at Bustani Ahmad, the present place where we want to locate the Roti plant. Today, to hold the jalsa there will be like the UK Jamaat trying to hold the London jalsa at Islamabad. Islamabad will be put our jalsa at Bustani Ahmad. Bustani Ahmad is just little bit outside of Accra, our capital. And our decision to fix the Roti plant there is for the sake of ease and market. Good. Mr. Konedo mentioned it earlier that we intend commercializing the plant. If we were to fix it at the current location of the Jalsa, it would not be easy to do anything commercial there because the place is far away. And we would have taken the facility away within Accra. That is why we decided to fix it at Bustani Ahmad.
Jazakallah, Naba Misab. So we'll now listen to Dr. Zahid Kansab, head of Gazabod UK, whilst you try to sort out the internet. Then after him, inshallah, we'll bring you back. Dr. Zahid, please carry on.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. It's an honor to be here with all my brothers and sisters. And as has been announced, yes, I am an African by heart. I was definitely born in Kenya, but the greater thing, my affection with Kenya is from the fact that Ahmadiyat was born in my family while in Africa and not before. My father accepted Ahmadiyat in Tanganyika, which is now Tanzania, and my mother's family, they accepted Ahmadiyat in Kenya. So that is even more of a reason for my affection for the continent of Africa. Allah has blessed us in many ways, the Jamaat. And under the blessings of Khilafat, our Imam, he continues to inspire us. And in this last nearly quarter of a century, what shines out most of all in my mind is Hazur's concentration, his focus on humanitarian services to the people around the world and to Africa in particular. through IAAE, Humanity First, there are many projects that you and I have contributed and have great pleasure in seeing the results of these projects. And that is something that we are grateful to Allah, and that He has given us that opportunity to serve humanity in that respect. So when I was told of this project of the bread plant in Ghana, I was very excited. I was very pleased that this was an opportunity once again for you, me, to get together and do something for humanity as far as bread is concerned. And you see, the subject of bread is very much different from hospitals and water and all the other projects that we have done, because it came to my mind for 2 or 3 reasons. Number one is the bread of life. Bread is something, sustenance of life. When the promised Messiah Islam's father passed away, he lived in quite difficult circumstances at that time, and he subsisted on a few morsels of bread that would be left for him, and he would eat those and he would survive on those. So bread from that angle has some importance in me, and I'm sure for the Jamaat in that respect, that those few morsels that he was fed with, and now it is the langar, it is the kitchen of the promised Messiah who is feeding the world. Beyond that, there was one other thing I'd like to share with you. Jesus showed the miracle of feeding 5,000 with 5 loaves of bread. So the first Messiah had this connection with bread as well. And the miracle that he showed, where did he get that bread from? It was a young boy who had bread, 5 loaves of bread for his lunch. And he gave these to Jesus, who blessed them. And he was able to feed 5,000 people. We have seen examples of that in the life of the promised Messiah, salam, how from his kitchen, how his wife would prepare the food for people. At times it seemed that it was too little, but with the blessings of Allah, it was enough for many hundreds of people. And he received the revelation from Allah the Almighty that this bread is for you and for your darweshis, for your companions. So all in all, the project of bread, in my mind, is unique. And we as Africans have this opportunity to be the first to take part in this great project in Ghana and then spread it out to other parts of Africa. And that is my hope, that I, along with you, can take this journey. The Holy Prophet ﷺ has said regarding some financial sacrifice, he says, Ma nakasa sadaqatum min mal, that your charity does not diminish your wealth. It actually increases it, as the Holy Quran tells us, and as Murabbi Sahib told us earlier. So by giving to charity, our wealth will never get less. It will never diminish, but Allah continues to bless us more and more and more. And that is what we see. So my plea to all my brothers and sisters is, do not let this opportunity go by without taking benefit in it. Young, old, girls, boys, retired people, working people, everybody must dig deep into their hearts, into their pockets, so that we are able to fulfill this great project. The amount being raised is not high for us Africans. That can be raised, inshallah, very easily and very quickly. The benefits of this bread plant will last forever. And the reward that we will get from Allah will also be something that cannot be measured. It's called Sadqa Jariyah. All of us are aware of this, that this is a charity which continues ever flowing, doesn't stop. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said that when a man dies, all his deeds come to an end. So all the good things that we have done in this world, they will come to an end. But 3 things remain. One is this Sadqa Jariyah, the continuous charity we have left behind. Secondly is knowledge, which is beneficial to mankind. And thirdly, you leave behind virtuous descendants who then pray for you. We all here in the UK and parts of Europe, we all live in ease. There is no doubt about it. Allah has blessed us with so much. So always bear that in mind. that these small adjustments that we may make these sacrifices, are not going to hurt any of us. But it's not only these small sacrifices, it's larger donations. It is your trust in Allah Almighty. It is the trust that the first Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, when he came and he gave everything that he had in his house to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet said, "Have you not left anything at home?" He had said, "I left Allah and His Messenger at home." And see how he was blessed with greatness after that. So that is our role model, in fact. We are not required to lay down everything that we have, of course. We lay down as much as we can with the confidence that it is things that have been given to us by Allah after all, and we are spending a small portion of it in returning this to Allah, who then returns it to us in greater and greater numbers. So that is the essence of sacrifice, and that is the essence that we should all bear in mind, myself included. We are going through the holy month of Ramadan, Hajj. It is a blessed month, and when that period comes, we say labbaik, that we are present. So brothers and sisters, let's say labbaik to this scheme today. Let's look deep into our hearts. Let's dig deep into our pockets. Let's fulfill this small project that we have, and then continue to increase in our efforts to build more bread France across Africa, so that we are able to once again serve humanity as our beloved Imam is always endorsing us to do. So with those few words, and we've heard many motivational speeches before me, I hope that I have been able to add some flavor to that. And I hope that I and you will get together, will take this on board with both hands. Let's get going. It's something that we can easily fulfill. So may Allah grant me and you the opportunity, the ability to make sure that we do not get left behind in making these promises and donations today. We have 6 months even to fulfill them, a long period, not much to ask. So let's get together. May Allah enable all of us to be able to fulfill our promises and take this message further and further in our families, towards our friends, people who are not even members of the Jamaat. This is a project that we must not miss out on. So with these few words, Jazakumullah for having listened to me, but please do contribute and do promise today. Jazakumullah ahsanul jaza. Ahmed, over to you.
Jazakumullahu ahsan al-jaza, Dr. Zaikan. I think with this words, I believe if you've not made any promise yet or made any payment yet, you'll probably be sweating in your house. So wherever you are, please and please again, grab your phone. It's so easy. The links are just been shared again. I've just looked at the promises figure. We are sitting at 19,000, which means we still have 10,000 to go. We're still not there yet. We want the promises to flow in through. And as Dr. Zaid Khan said, do not let this blessed opportunity slip by. Yes, you might be thinking it's a joke, but remember, it's going to be a legacy for you. Maybe 20 years down the line, 50 years down the line, when you're speaking to your children, your great-grandchildren, you will say, we were those who actually started this prophecy of the Prophet on the soils of Africa. We're part of it. And that blessings would always come along with us, for those of us who were able to do that. Naiba Mirwan Ghana.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. The floor is yours now, please.
Today is a very happy day for me, for my Amir Sahib, and for all Ghanaians. We have been anticipating this machine for so many years now. Our Jalsa has grown from strength to strength. Bustani Ahmed is where we used to hold this Jalsa. To hold a Jalsa at Bustani Ahmed today is like the UK Jamaat attempting to hold the London Jalsa at Islamabad. You see how difficult it will be. The space will explode. It's similar if we wanted to hold our Ghana Jamaat at Bustani Ahmed. So yes, we are using it for so many things. And you rightly pointed out the Wahab Adam studio is there. There is a school there. We are running a school there and other facilities. Now, at the moment, somebody wanted to know whether we could produce the roti from Bustania and be able to send it to Bagi Ahmed where the Jalsa is being held. The actual fact is yes, at the same distance as Bustani Ahmed to Bagi Ahmed. Secondly, you know, we will be taking the machine away from the market. You know, we mentioned commercialization. If we were to establish the plant at Bagi Ahmed, that commercial value will be lost. Accra is where we have the market. Accra is where we have Bustani Ahmed. So if the machine is at Bustani Ahmed, then inshallah, we will hope to make it bigger in terms of market. I know that PAAMA UK have been doing so much to try and get this machine down to us. And today being the main day where the fundraising is being done, I am happy to see that. I've met the president of PAAMA, Mr. Tommy Kalon, so many times, and I see how keen he is to move PAAMA forward and to help the African countries. I am happy to tell him today that inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has started to bless his efforts. And inshallah, at the end of the day, his aim of seeing this machine in Africa will be realized, starting from Ghana. And inshallah, in the course of time, we shall be able to extend to other African countries. Today, actually, is a day that we've all been looking up to. And now that it is happening, we also want to assure PAAMA UK, PAAMA worldwide, that the Ghana Jamaat is ready. We are fully in readiness for the machine and to be able to run it. When the architect was talking, Mr. Hassan Sahib, you saw the design that he has produced. I'm yet to sit down with him and we do some value engineering on it to see to what extent we can work down the price of it and see that it's not that expensive. We also will do so, inshallah, without sacrificing on quality. He's a very seasoned architect. He designs very well. And alhamdulillah, I myself, I'm a quantity surveyor. I will see to bring it as economically viable as possible. So these are the few things I just want to add and hope that you have been able to hear my words. And inshallah, when this machine is established, it will go very far to solve our bread problem, our bread production problem. Jazakumullah, Hassan al-Jaza. Mr. Ahmed, you may continue with other persons who will be talking to us.
Jazakumullahu Ahsan al-Jaza, very much appreciated. I guess now we are actually at the point where we want to see those of you who have not been able to make any donations to come forward and make your donations. And those of you who also want to ask questions, have not had a chance to ask any questions, this is the platform. But again, I want to stress on the very important point. We've heard Dr. Zaid Khan say such, very inspiring words for us to actually take this Roti plant on. We've heard Naibami one from Ghana also actually, putting that emphasis on, and is actually praising our president Sab that yes, he will see this actually wishes of his actually being happening in Africa. What do we want now? Our job is to just make it happen. And how are we going to do that? Dig deep, go deep down your heart, bring it out, and just donate. It's as simple as that. I'm looking at the figures now. We are sitting somewhere at 20,000, but again, we are still 10,000 short, and we want to see the money flowing through. So may I just humbly request, if anyone has got any questions, if anyone want to add any words or whatsoever it is that you want to say, please unmute yourself or even just put in the chat room, and we're more than happy to voice it out for you. Jazakumullah. Yes. Okay. I'm lost of time myself in the room here. I'm not. I think we promised to finish in 2 hours, and we've actually just gone over 10 minutes of that 2 hours. So apologies. I guess you can all see the technical hitches that we're facing as well. But nonetheless, if anyone has got any questions and I believe for me, I'll probably say I don't even have any questions. Now it's just a case of action, action, action. Make a promise and just do it. It's as simple as that. Yes, we have our Naibamir, UK, and Afsaja Salana. I think he's unmuted. Do you want to say something?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. This is another beloved brother from Africa who have also on Naibamir, UK, and I guess since the questions are not coming through, he's here to give us the closing remarks, and then the rest is let the money flow through. Naibamir Sab, Afsaja Salana, UK. Over to you now, our brother from Africa.
Jazakumullah jaza. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mr. President PAAMA, all the distinguished speakers, and my dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all of you. It's a great honor for me to be here. I'm just standing in for Musa. The last minute he asked me to because he has other engagements. So I'm standing in. And for all those that know me, they'll know I'm a man of action, not of words. So that's why you don't see me doing this sort of thing very often. And after these eloquent speakers, I feel I might become a deterrent. So I don't want to speak for too long, which might be a good thing anyway to make up for the time. But the inspiration is, of course, that we are all Africans or connected to Africa in one way or another. And just like Dr. Zaid Khan Saab, I'm also connected to Tanzania and also to Kenya. My father and mother are from the two respective countries. They're both born and bred of those two countries, like myself. So we have a very close connection, and I go regularly back to Tanzania and Kenya and see the progress that the Jamaat is making there. And it's my deep desire to one day go to West Africa and to visit Ghana in particular. I have many, many very close friends that I've grown up old with now over the years from Ghana. And as I was the young president of Lambeth Jamaat, and we had 60 members of Ghana in Lambeth. So I grew very close to them. We've grown all together. Some have left this world and I'm still here. So my connection, and they always said, come this Jalsa, next Jalsa, next Jalsa. But unfortunately, my involvement in Jalsa Salana here and various commitments, I couldn't make it. So the connection is still there and very strong. So I'm very honored that this Roti plant has become a source of me to be involved in something of a fundraising which should become historical for the Jamaat in Ghana, and especially as Roti plant is close to my heart anyway. As you may or may not be aware, but when I became Officer Sana, one of the first instructions Sab Anwar gave me was to work on this project to build a Roti plant in Hadikutul Mehdi, the very successful one that was run in Islamabad. And the young engineer that you just that was speaking and making the presentation, Fateh Rashid Saab, his father, God rest his soul in paradise, worked very closely with me on the Roti plant in Islamabad. So over many, many years, the Roti plant there was very successful. But to move it from Islamabad to Hadikutul Mehdi, Hazur initially gave the instruction that we should look at the feasibility of that. But when we looked at it, we thought that it would be better to make a bigger plant, and as we then very graciously approved the plant that you see in Hadikutul Mehdi now. And so this plant was bought from Lebanon, and there's a long story behind that which I won't go into, but basically I just wanted to make the point that although this was sourced and installed by the engineers, it still was a brand new plant that was brought in from Lebanon, and the whole setup costs us then, back 2012 we're talking about, it cost us nearly £100,000 to install then. So for what Fateh is saying here is absolutely correct. This is a £500,000 project which we're raising a very small amount for. And it's a great blessing that we have the resources in the Jamaat and the expertise that enables us to come up with this sort of very low cost to build a very high-tech plant, which I think even over the years, Fateh has in particular adapted to suit our needs. So the standard of the Roti is much better than a normal commercial plant. And this is over many years of advice from Hazur Anwar. He himself takes an interest in the plant. And so he has given us so many tips which have enabled people with Fateh and his team to make this plant very successful. And I'm very, very certain, inshallah, with Allah's help and with all the prayers of Khalifatul Masih, we will have, inshallah, plant that will produce excellent rotis in Ghana. And so the aim of this committee that you put together and us as the contributors, I think, is a very noble cause. And it reminds me, and I was reading some article recently about as a Muslim out, because you remember in the early days of Jamaat Ahmadiyya in Qadian, there was the Jamaat was in a very poor state, in a very difficult situation, and it was the Jamaat of East Africa that paid for various projects in Qadian at the time. I mean, even most of the running of the Jamaat was done through the sacrifices and contributions of East Africans. Not so much West Africa, but at least we can say from the African continent, large sums of money were sent over regularly for the running of the Jamaat. So we're just doing a small repay to pay that continent back with something that will feed lots of people, I hope. And I think it's an excellent idea. In fact, Ghana, I would say, is going one step further than the UK, because Ghana is actually looking at making this a commercial venture, which I think we failed. I think Hazur asked us to look at this for the UK, but we just could not find the manpower to run it and the resources to actually market it. But I think the idea that Naib Mir just mentioned is that it should be a commercially run plant, and that is the reason why the location that they're choosing is an ideal one, because if it's in the main town center and you have access to public can come and purchase these rotis, I think it'll be an excellent idea. And of course, running a plant regularly also keeps it in good maintenance. Fateh will also tell you that we regularly each year we have to maintain the plant, because we only run it for big occasions, the Qadian Jalsa and the Ijtimas, etc., and of course Jalsa itself. But normally that plant is dormant, and I'm hoping this plant will be very useful, and we will try and obviously whatever we need to send from the UK in terms of items that we have here, we can send over with the old roti plant, which Fateh is very certain that he can bring back to life and make it to work efficiently. So with just those few words, I think everybody's dragged on a bit, so I'll make my closing remarks to say Jazakallah to all the contributors. I hope you do, as Dr. Zaisal very eloquently said, it is our opportunity to be part of this blessed scheme. We should dig deep, and we should make sure that our children can see that one day they will also benefit from this. Maybe they'll go to Ghana and they'll see the plant and they'll say, yes, our parents contributed to this, or our grandparents contributed to this. Just as I felt when I recently went to the mosque in Tabora, and Dr. Zaid will know this because his father father also contributed to this. That when I saw the plant there, the mosque there, and I saw my grandfather's name in 1930s contributing to that mosque, it made me feel very good, and it gave me great inspiration to go on and do more for the Jamaat. So I hope that we can look at it not just from what Allah rewards us in the hereafter, but He rewards us here as well, not in terms of financial, the ears of corn that He promised that grow, but also the fact that our future generations benefit from our sacrifices. So this is a small one that we have to make. So please dig deep, and please make sure that we have a very good number of names on that plaque that is going to be put up with that roti plant, inshallah. So I'll pass it back to Ahmed Saab, is that okay?
Jazakumullah. Yes, that's very, very inspirational there again. And all we want to see is 50 years down the line, 70 years down the line, we want our great-grandchildren to go and see our names on there, and that is going to be a blessing that we will take, because they would be more motivated to pray for us. That's where this Sadaqah Jariyah actually comes in. So we are setting somewhere on the figure, it's somewhere 21,000 now, but then regional presidents, I guess we need you now to push this, push it to all. Then I don't mean putting the messages in the various platforms. I mean, send the message to them individually and let people get the message. And we are going to try to get this video up as soon as possible by the close of maybe today, tomorrow, and share it. But towards the end of the day, we want to see at least crossing that 30 mark. And that is what I need the regional president to do now. Like we always say, we bend the rod when it's hot. So let's do it now. Don't let people go back and then relax. The video will be sent again, and then inshallah, we'll keep on, pushing for more. I'll now ask if any President Sab, Tommy Kalon Sab, if you want to say anything before we go, any few words from yourselves.
No, nothing further. It's getting closer as our first time here at London. So yeah, just want to add at the figure you're reading out is just the figure in pounds.
Promises.
In terms of promises and pledges and donations. So in terms of what I'm seeing so far, in terms of promises in pounds, we have about 20,700 so far. In terms of donations in pounds, we have 4,500 roughly. In terms of dollars, combined in USA and Canada together, we have 1,700 in promises and about 230 in payments. And combine all the euros together in terms of France, Belgium, and everybody else, so far I have 2,460 in terms of promises, and in terms of donations, 270. So that's a challenge, of course, to the PAAMA chapters. France with us here, Germany with us. Obviously, I know Germany have not started yet because the portal is not up. Netherlands have not started yet. PAAMA Spain is here with us. So challenge all the rest of the chapters. You see what the UK PAAMA is doing. So obviously, we need this to be a PAAMA international project and not just UK project. So we need obviously the other chapters as well to step up. And inshallah, as the promises, if we raise enough funds. A few years ago, 2016, we went to Huzu with a request to give us permission to launch a fundraising appeal to build a mosque in Africa at the time. Huzu gave us permission and instructed us to build a mosque in Burkina Faso at the time. By the grace of Allah, our target then was 15,000. We actually raised double that amount. So in fact, we had to go back to Huzu and say we have more funds. So please suggest another country for us to build another mosque. And Huzu then suggested another country in Benin. So we built 2 mosques. The target was to build 1 mosque. We're not building 2 mosques in Burkina Faso and Benin, respectively. Same as this project in Africa, this bread factory, this Roti plant. We hope that we aim to build 1 in Ghana, but hopefully, if the funds come through, we can not just do 1, but multiple projects across the African continent. So that's our desire, that's our prayer. So please step up and let's get the funds in so we can complete this project, inshallah. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakumullahu ahsana jaza. Regional President, now the ball rests in your court to make sure every PAAMA member is not exempted from this blessed scheme. Try to let the message reach out to everyone. Tell them to make the promise tonight. Those of us who can make the payments, try, just as our brother Ibrahim so beautifully puts it. Let's sow the seed. Let's start with something small and allow bless it so that it becomes something big. We are back to Naibamir, Afsaja Salana, UK. I know you had a call. If you can lead us in a silent prayer to bring the whole proceeding to an end, please.
Okay, please, everyone, please join me in silent prayer. Bismillah. Ameen.
Ameen. Jazakumullah to everyone who has joined.
Well done. Allah bless your efforts.
Jazakumullah. Regional President, final figures will be given out somewhere around the Maghrib Isha time, UK. So please keep pushing, push it to everyone, make sure everyone is donating, and we don't stop here. Jazakumullah, Jaza to everyone, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.